I'm starting to think that maybe those of us on the left aren't getting pissed off enough about the fact that we have Republican laws being enacted across the country that are attacking our education system here in the United States. And maybe it's because this issue obviously is a little close to home for me, right? My wife is an ESE teacher here in the state of Florida. And Florida is one of many states that has passed legislation that makes it a crime to teach what they consider to be critical race theory. If you follow me on Twitter, you understand that recently we also had an incident involving that. Everything is fine. But for many teachers across the country, everything is not fine. And still, for my wife, everything is not fine. Every teacher in one of these states that has passed this suppressive legislation, whether it's anti-CRT, whether it's anti-LGBTQ, every teacher and every student is under attack. But increasingly, it's the teachers, right? These already underpaid, overworked public servants that are getting screwed here because as more and more legislation comes out, it's starting to put criminal penalties on the teachers for actually just teaching their students. Florida's always a great example because we're one of the worst states in the country now, thanks to our, several decades of solid Republican rule. They've ruined this state. I hate it. I hate it. But here's the thing. They've got there, and I know you've all heard of this, the so-called Don't Say Gay bill. Basically, you cannot have discussions of sexual orientation or sexual or gender identity, in public schools, which means at-risk youth who may approach a teacher because they trust them, because that may be the only guidance they have in their life. That may be the role model they have in their life. And they say, listen, I'm going through a tough time. Okay? I've got these new feelings. We know how it is. I don't have to act it out, but we know how it is. And yes, some students do choose to go and talk to the teachers about that. Well, that's about to be illegal. You can't have broad discussions with your classrooms about this, just like you can't have broad discussions about race. You can't talk about race in a way that might make white people feel uncomfortable because then you're going to be held liable for it, teacher. Oklahoma wants to not just fine a teacher $10,000 if they teach anything at all that goes against religion or anybody's deeply held religious beliefs, which would include all of biology for the record, but also $10,000 per student who complains. And if you try to raise money from outside sources like a GoFundMe or a legal defense fund, you get fired and you're banned from teaching in that state for 3 years. Why are people not more pissed off about this? When you look at the left on social media, you've got your plenty of people who are just the Democratic cheerleaders. Then you got the people who've gone so far left, they're almost on the right. Everybody's fighting about purity tests and all these things, and too many of them spend all their time attacking the squad because you're not progressive enough. Listen, morons, all of you. Real people in the United States right now today are having their lives negatively impacted, are having their lives permanently changed in a bad way because of right-wing legislation that exists in states right now. And if all you can do is sit there and argue about, I don't like this person, they're not as progressive as I think they should be, then you've missed the fucking point. Because people are suffering, and not just through this legislation. It's not just teachers, it's not just students, right? The voter suppression bills, the lack of action on climate change, which nobody else likes to talk about because, it's a traffic killer. We've missed the mark, and I'm sorry to have to call out, the other folks in progressive media about this crap, but I'm pissed. And part of what pisses me off is that not enough other people are pissed off too. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.